When we think about Jimin from BTS, the first images that usually come to mind are dazzling lights, powerful performances, and the sound of fans cheering his name across stadiums around the world. He is the man who can command the stage with just a glance, the dancer whose every move feels like poetry, and the singer whose voice has comforted millions during their toughest days. To many, Jimin is already larger than life, an artist, a global superstar, and an icon, but what if I told you that behind all of that glitter, Jimin is also something more? That beyond the awards, the records, and the fame, there's a side of him that doesn't get shown on stage, a side that makes him not just an idol, but also a hero. A hero who fights for something as powerful as music itself, education. Yes, Jimin has quietly and consistently used his success to change the lives of children and young students who might never step inside a concert hall to see him perform. Students who may not own a BTS album or wear official merch, but who now have the chance to walk into classrooms with hope because of his generosity. This is the story of how Jimin BTS has become more than a global star, how he has become an education hero. From the beginning of his career, Jimin has always been known for his warmth and sensitivity. Fans often say he has the kind of heart that notices the smallest details, the kind of person who comforts you even when you didn't say you were hurting. And it's this heart of his that shines even brighter when you look beyond the stage. In 2019, when BTS was already dominating the global music scene, Jimin quietly made his first major public donation. He gave 100 million won, that's over $80,000 USD, to the Busan Metropolitan Office of Education. The purpose? To support underprivileged students in his hometown of Busan. What made this gesture so impactful was not just the money, but the intention. He wasn't donating for publicity, in fact, he didn't even announce it himself. The education office revealed it, and fans only found out later. Think about that for a moment. A superstar at the peak of fame, with the whole world watching him, decides to do something good not in front of cameras but behind the scenes. That's Jimin, and this wasn't a one-time thing. Just a year later, in 2020, Jimin donated another 100 million won, this time to the Jeonnam Provincial Office of Education. Again, the donation was aimed at helping students who came from struggling families, ensuring that financial burdens wouldn't rob them of their education. For Jimin, education isn't just about textbooks or classrooms. It's about giving children a fair chance at chasing their dreams, the same way he once chased his. Then in 2021, Jimin continued his pattern of quiet giving by donating yet another 100 million won to the Jeonnam Provincial Office of Education. What stands out about this particular donation is how it was used. The money went toward buying school uniforms for children from low-income families. Now, for people outside Korea, this might not sound like a big deal. But in South Korea, school uniforms are mandatory, and they can be expensive. For many families, especially those already struggling to make ends meet, buying uniforms can be a heavy financial burden. By covering these costs, Jimin wasn't just giving money, he was giving confidence. He was giving children the chance to walk into school feeling equal to their peers, without the weight of shame or embarrassment. And that, in itself, is priceless. But here's the most touching part, Jimin doesn't stop there. Beyond these publicized donations, there are countless whispers of him making private contributions that never make it into the headlines. His family has shared before that Jimin often helps quietly, without wanting recognition. He believes that true kindness comes from sincerity, not from the desire for attention. This humility is what makes Jimin's actions so deeply admired. In a world where celebrities often broadcast their charitable acts for the world to see, Jimin chooses silence. He lets the impact of his giving speak louder than any press release ever could. An army, his fans, notice. They've been inspired not just to cheer louder at concerts but to also give back in their own ways. Around the world, armies have organized charity events, donated to educational causes, and even started scholarships, all in Jimin's name. His kindness creates ripples, touching lives far beyond what he could ever imagine. Why education? Why does Jimin keep coming back to this particular cause? The answer lies in his own journey. Jimin knows firsthand the power of dreams and the sacrifices needed to achieve them. Before debuting, he was just a boy from Busan who dared to believe he could dance on the world's biggest stages. That belief required discipline, endless practice, and yes, education. His parents, his teachers, and his training shaped him into the person we know today. For Jimin, giving to education is about more than financial aid. It's about giving others the same chance he once had, the chance to dream without being crushed by circumstances. He understands that not every child has equal opportunities, but with a little help, those opportunities can be created. What's even more beautiful is how his donations go beyond money. They symbolize hope. To a child struggling to afford school, hearing that someone like Jimin, an international superstar, cares enough to help can mean the world. It sends the message, you matter. Your education matters. Your future matters. And that message is powerful. It's not just about the children receiving help today, but about the future they will build tomorrow. With education, they can break cycles of poverty, chase careers they once thought were impossible, and maybe, someday, even inspire others the way Jimin inspires them. The impact of Jimin's generosity has been acknowledged not just by fans, but also by educational institutions themselves. Each time his donation is revealed, local education offices express gratitude, noting how many students' lives were directly changed because of him. They've highlighted that Jimin's actions don't just bring financial relief but also shine a spotlight on the importance of supporting education in society. This influence has sparked broader conversations in Korea about educational inequality, inspiring more individuals and even corporations to step in and contribute. One man's quiet donation has created a chain reaction of kindness, but let's step back for a moment and think about who Jimin is in the eyes of the world. He's part of BTS, the biggest boy band in history, a group that has sold out stadiums, topped Billboard charts, and even spoken at the United Nations. He could easily use his fame to focus solely on himself, to live a life of luxury without a second thought. Yet, instead, he chooses to use his platform to help others. That's what makes him different. That's what makes him a hero. When ARMY say that Jimin is not just their idol but their role model, this is what they mean. It's not only about his artistry or his flawless performances, it's about his character, his humility, and his heart. He shows the world that kindness and success can go hand in hand. That you can be at the top of the world and still bow down to lift others up, and maybe that's why Jimin's story feels so powerful. Because it reminds us that being a hero doesn't always mean saving the world in dramatic ways. Sometimes, it's about small acts of kindness that create lasting change. For Jimin, writing a check might seem simple. But for the students who benefit from it, that check is life-changing. It's the difference between dropping out and graduating. It's the difference between giving up and daring to dream again. The beauty of Jimin's actions is that they live on in the hearts of those students, their families, and everyone inspired by his example. His impact multiplies endlessly, like ripples spreading across water. So the next time you see Jimin performing on stage, remember that his story doesn't end when the lights go out and the music fades. Off stage, he is still creating miracles, just in quieter, more humble ways. He is shaping the future of countless young lives, proving that idols can do more than entertain. They can inspire change, not just with their voices, but with their hearts. Jimin once said in an interview, "I just want to be someone who gives people strength." And through his dedication to education, he has become exactly that. Strength for students who need support. Strength for families who need relief. Strength for fans who want to believe that kindness still exists in this world. In the end, Jimin is more than just a performer. He is more than just an idol. He is, in every sense of the word, a hero. An education hero who proves that the greatest legacy you can leave behind is not in trophies or records, but in the lives you touch along the way. And for that, Jimin will always be remembered, not just by ARMY, but by generations of students who will carry his kindness into the future.